Good morning, children. Today in this lecture we'll be studying transfer of heat. You have studied about heat, and now we are going to study how the heat transfer takes place. Okay, so there are mainly three processes of heat transfer. They are conduction. The first one is conduction. Second one is convection. Okay, and the third one is radiation. Right, there are three processes: conduction, convection and radiation. Let us first start conduction. In this lecture we will be studying mainly about conduction and convection. The third one I'll be taking it in the next lecture. Right, so let us talk about conduction. Conduction mostly occurs in case of solids. Okay, it happens in case of solids. So what actually happens in solids is, there are molecules in solids, and actually they are closely packed. Right, they are closely packed. Let me make them some more closer. I want to explain something, that is why I have made some space between them. So what will happen when you heat this solid at one end? Suppose this is some this rectangular type of a thing, and you are heating it somewhere here. Right, you are heating it here. So what will happen? These molecules which are closer to the flame will start. You already know that the molecules of a solid keep vibrating at their own position. Okay, you have studied it earlier in the chapter wherever you have studied about matter. Okay, so what will happen when you heat it up? The molecules closer to the flame will start vibrating more energetically. Okay, they start vibrating energetically, means they'll gain energy and start vibrating vigorously. मतलब और तेजी से वाइब्रेट करने लगेंगे. Right, so when they start vibrating more fast, what will happen? They will collide with the neighboring molecule. Right, as soon as they collide with the neighboring molecule, what will happen? It will also gain that energy and will start vibrating. In this way, the vibration, and what is vibration? It is the energy. Okay, so the vibration is passing from one molecule to another. It will keep on passing from here to here, here to here, like this. Okay, and similarly from this molecule to this molecule, and it will start passing it like this. So the energy is passing from molecule to molecule, the molecule being stationary. Right, the molecule is not leaving its place. Okay, it is not that the molecule gained the energy and start moving around. No, it stayed there only, but it passed on its energy. Right, so this kind of transfer of heat is known as conduction. Right, so because solids have their molecules fixed at a place, that is why this type of heat transfer is mostly occurs in case of solids. Right, so you can have the definition from your book. Okay, it says that the thermal conduction is the process by which heat is transferred between sections of a material. Okay, that means from one part to other part the heat will be transferred. So the heat is transferred between sections of a material that are themselves stationary and in contact with each other. Okay, so these molecules were in contact with each other. Or you might have also seen, suppose you have something heated, suppose you have an iron piece and it is heated up very to a very high temperature, and then you keep another thing in contact with it. So you will observe that this one also started heating up. Okay, when two bodies are kept closer together, what happens? The heat is transferred from one to another, and the condition is they should be in contact with each other, right? So the heat transfers from one object to another. So in case of solids, with the help of conduction, the heat may transfer from one part of the body to another part, or the heat may also transfer from a particular body to some other body which is in contact with it. Okay. So there are certain examples. One more thing I wanted to show you, this activity that is shown over here. You might have observed it very often. So what they have done, if any of you is interested in cooking and you do some of the work, you might have observed that if you are suppose stirring something with a spoon or some spatula or something, what happens if you leave the spatula in the pan? What happens for after a long time, if you leave for some good time, what happens, the end of the spatula also gets heated up, okay, and then you are not able to touch it, right? And if you are not leaving it there, then you'll see only one end of the spatula will be heated up, that is inside the pan, while the other end will not heat because you are removing it from there very fast, right? So that means heat is transferred from one part to the other part. So here what example they have taken this scale. This is a metallic scale, and they have stuck these matchsticks with this scale with the help of some molten wax. Okay, they have put some molten wax at the end of the matchstick, and then they have stuck it to the this scale. Okay, now they are heating one end of the scale with the help of a candle. What will happen? The heat will transfer slowly from this end to these parts. So what will happen? As soon as the heat will reach this matchstick, what will happen? The wax will get molten, and this matchstick will fall down. Okay, see here they have shown two of them have fallen down, and as the heat will pass on, the matchsticks will fall down, and you can see the transfer of heat from here. Okay, now because you are at home and it is locked down, so you can try these activities, but please be cautious wherever these flames and fire are needed. You need some guidance. Okay, so don't do these things alone. Okay, so there are some examples that you need to understand. See, when we are talking about conduction, so the materials which conduct heat, they will be known as conductors. Okay, the material which can conduct heat, they will be known as conductors, and conductors can be of two types: good conductors, which pass on heat very quickly, they will be known as good conductors, and which don't pass heat, they will be known as don't pass or pass heat very slowly, they will be known as bad conductors. Okay, so see, there are many examples of good conductors and bad conductors. Here we are talking about their applications. So you have seen at home, the utensils are mostly made up of good conductors because we want heat of the flame to reach the food quickly. But in the utensils we use bad conductors also, where the handles are made with the help of bad conductors, so that it is easy for us to grab them. Okay, see this pressure cooker, it is made up of some good conductors, steel or something, and the handle is made up of bakelite. Bakelite is a material that won't melt easily, and it does not pass heat very easily. Okay, so the handle will remain cooler while this whole thing, the pressure cooker, will heat up very fast. Same is the case with pans and the spatulas we use. Okay, that their handles are made up of material, those are bad conductors. Okay, then you wear sweaters. Now, what is the working of a sweater? You have seen in case of sweaters there or any woolen that you wear, there are some pores into it. Okay, these pores trap air into them, and air is a bad conductor, so it won't let the heat of your body go out of the clothes that you're wearing. Okay, so it keeps you warm during winters. And same is the case with quilt. The cotton that is inside the quilt, that is fluffy, so air is trapped into it, and it will won't let the heat of your body. Okay, and so that is why when you are making some new quilt, they beat the cotton. You might have seen somewhere they beat the cotton, so that becomes more fluffy, so that more heat can be trapped into it. Okay. Now the next process is convection. In convection, what happens, it is mostly occurring in case of liquids. Okay, convection, this is the next process of heat transfer. It mostly occurs in liquids or gases also. Okay, so what happens when you heat a liquid? So on heating liquid, what happens? The density of the liquid decreases. Okay, density of the liquid decreases. So what happens when the density decreases? That means it becomes lighter. So what happens over here? Suppose this is a beaker and you have water into it, water filled in it, and you are heating it. Okay, so what will happen? The first of all, the lower layer will get heated up. Okay, and its density will decrease. When its density decreases, it becomes lighter, and you know the lighter things go up, they float, no? So it will rise up, and the heavier water that was above, that will come down. Now this one will heat up and it will go up, and the lower layer will come down. So this kind of process continues. Okay, so here what is happening? Contrary to what we studied in case of conduction, here the particles are moving themselves. Okay, the lower layer is going up, so the lower molecules, they got heated up and they are rising up, and the upper one, they are cold and they are heavier, they come down. Okay, so there is this experiment they have shown over here. Can you see here they have taken a glass test tube filled with water, and they have taken some wax into it, and they are heating it here. Can you see? Mostly what we do, we heat the things from the bottom, but here they are heating it at the top level of it. So because the light, it will get heated up and it becomes light, and it should go up, it won't go down, it should go up. Okay, so the bubbles start forming, and the heat won't go down. And how do you know that heat is not going down? The wax won't melt. Okay, and if you heat it from down, the wax will melt suddenly. This shows that in case of convection, this rises up, the liquid rises up when it heats up. Okay, so another experiment, see, you can see here. So another thing that we have to study, that is convection current. What is convection current? This whole thing, that the lower molecules are rising up and the above one are coming down. So this whole thing is forming a some motion is going on over there, no? So this thing is forming a current. So see, they have written the movement of different sections of a fluid due to differences in temperature. Because of the temperature difference is there, therefore the parts of the liquid is moving in the whole, you can say, the utensil or the space, whatever it is. So the movement of the parts of the liquid is taking place. This movement is known as convection current. Okay, so another activity where you can see the convection current, they have taken this beaker and a small amount of some color you can take. Here they have taken potassium permanganate, because it is crystal which won't dissolve suddenly into the liquid. Okay, it will take some time to dissolve. So they have taken some of the potassium permanganate at the bottom. So what will happen when you heat up the liquid? At the bottom will rise up. Now the bottom level will be colored due to potassium permanganate, so it will rise up, and the colder one, this has become cold, this is cold, so it will come down. Then this will rise up and the colder layer will come down. So you can see it because of the color present in it, and slowly you will see that the whole water will get colored, because when it will be heated up, the whole liquid gets heated up, it will become colored. So this activity also you can do at home. Another example is the smoke coming out of chimney. Initially, then when it comes out, it is hot, and as it rises up, it will spread, because as it rises up, it becomes cold. Okay, and the next thing, that the refrigerator. Okay, when you open the refrigerator, you might have observed that the the cold air that comes to the lower part of your body, you can feel the that the cool air that is coming out of it, that can be experienced more in the lower part of your body than the upper part, because the cool air coming out is heavy, so it will go down and will rise up only when it becomes a little heated up. Okay, another example is the case of a candle. When you burn a candle, you might have seen a cup forms over here. This is a candle, so a cup kind of a structure forms over here. This is the flame. Okay, and in this cup the liquid wax is there. Okay, so why is this cup formed? Why doesn't it happen that the candle remains straight like this? Now let me explain this. This is because what happens, the flame, due to the flame, the wax just below it will melt, and the air around the flame will be heated up. Okay, so this air will rise up. Okay, it will go up in the air, all the air from here, it will go up, and the air from the surroundings will rush into this space. Okay, the air from the surroundings will rush into this space. So this is cold air that is coming now. So it will cool the wax at the edges. Okay, it will cool the wax at the edges, and as it rushes inside, again it is coming in contact with the flame and it will get heated up. So it gets heated up, then it will again melt the wax. So because the outer edges are constantly in the contact with the cold air coming from the outer atmosphere, that is why this cup like structure forms over there. So this is about convection. There is one more thing, the land breeze and the sea breeze. You need to understand this. Now see here, see, this is the land, this is sea. Okay, so when it is the daytime, what will happen? The land will get heated up faster, and the hot air in the atmosphere will rise up. Okay, so the space will be vacant. To fill that space, cold air from the sea will rush into this space. Okay, so we feel cold breeze like thing when we are standing on the land. So this is called the sea breeze. Okay, this is called the sea breeze. You have to be careful. In the book it is written in the reverse order. Okay, and what will happen in the night time? In the night, the land cools very faster. Okay, so land is cold in the night, but the water has not what you say, the water is still hot because of the sun. It has taken the heat throughout the day, no? See, the water gets heated up slowly and takes time to cool also, but land, it will get heated up fast because mostly at the seashores you have sand, so it heats up faster and cools also faster. Okay, so at the night time, the sea, because of water in it, it has not coolen up yet. Okay, so it is still hot, so the air above the sea will rise up, and the land is cool now, so the cold air from the land will rush into the sea. So now the direction of the breeze is from land to sea. So this is the land breeze. Okay, so this is important, sea breeze and land breeze. You can just go through it, and you have to draw this diagram in your notebook. So that's all for today. Bye children.